Hey guys, it is Bizarre Individual, and today we are going to be wrapping up the last installment of the Operation TBR. I am really sad to see it go. I had a lot of fun. I thought about continuing it and just making up a new TBR for the fall, but then I am doing something different that I will announce very soon. But I'm actually not planning on reading any manga for the month of September because I'm going to try to knock out a book that I've been wanting to read. So if you watch my book haul, I'm probably gonna pick one of those. And I mean, if I read manga, then it would just be for fun, and because I feel like it, not because of any challenges. There's no stress to read manga. I just really want to focus on reading a book. So yeah. So anyways, let's just get into what I read for the month of August. I'm just going to say that I failed all the challenges for this month, pretty much. And then the one that I didn't fail, I just kind of changed the challenge to fit. But anyways, so guess we're going to start from the last thing I read of the month and then go down because that's how the stack is. But I started actually putting my bullet journal instead of those pages inside of a bullet journal. And this is just my practice journal. I've kind of decided that this is going to give me time to like practice it and stuff. And I used really old glue from work, and so it kind of messed up. But I just cut it because I've made this sheet paper. Like I made this 2 different times, and I wasn't gonna make it again. But then I did add everything in that I read. So yeah. So this month I read. Yeah. So yeah, this is just kind of like my practice, and then I'm gonna start a new one with better supplies and better glue for one. At the beginning of the year. So I read The Bride Was a Boy. I gave this 5 stars. Absolutely love this. This is I think it's an autobiography. It's pretty much, she writes about her life in comic form, and it is just so cute and sweet, and it's just her journey of her going through the transition of being scientifically born in a man's body, and the struggles of, like, I think it starts in maybe middle school or high school or something like that, and then it just goes through of how she meets this guy right here, and he just automatically, has, I guess, falls in love, or at least an attraction to her, and then she's scared to tell him, and then when she does, he's like, I don't care, I like you for you. So it just was so cute. I recommend this to anyone. Absolutely loved it, and the fact that it was a true story. Okay, Antique Bakery. This is, I'm terrified to say my feelings on this. It was okay. I really wanted to like it. I found it quite boring, and I was going to force myself to do the next volume, but I just kind of just gave up, and I probably won't continue it, which is kind of sad. I should probably at least try the next volume, but I just couldn't get into it, so that's what kind of hindered one of my readathons. Next up is Prophecy Volume 1. I am so surprised, I guess since it's so plot heavy, and lately I've just been kind of when I read fluff and not think that much when I'm reading and just enjoy it, but Prophecy Volume 1, loved this. This is so good. I cannot wait to read the next 2. It reminds me a lot of Dexter, in like the Dexter the TV show, in the aspect of the whole entire question, is it okay to do something wrong if you're doing something wrong in to justify someone else doing something wrong, if that makes any sense. Wow, I could have said that so much better. But it's a lot like Death Note. I definitely got Death Note vibes throughout this. But yeah, just go read it. It's 3 volumes. It's on Right Stuff. It's fantastic, and it's vertical, so I think it's vertical. So it may go out of print soon. So yeah. A Strange and Mystifying Story. Honestly, I bought all 7 volumes of this, and I really want to enjoy it. It looks beautiful. And I didn't like this at all. Pretty much this guy right here is like a family curse, and he has to suck the curse out of him, and in doing so he like rapes him over and over and over again, and then but then he just puts up with it because he wants the curse gone. Yeah. And then what really got me upset was then after, kind of like torturing him, which is, I guess, teasing in a way, he finally tells him, oh, the reason why I'm doing this is because it gets rid of the curse. Me doing sexual stuff to you gets rid of the curse sooner. And then he's like, oh, well, if you told me that. I hated it. Yeah. So I'm just kind of stuck with 7 volumes. The artwork is beautiful. Yeah. Okay, next up is The Flowers of Evil. Well, this is volume 4, but it's spans of 11 volumes in the original, and then they reprinted it in these omnibuses. I loved this. I don't even think I can give it a star rating. It is just beyond messed up, psychological, like a slice of life gone wrong. It's just these people's these high schoolers' emotions. Were they in middle school? I think where I got confused is they were in middle school, and then the main guy went off and it showed him in high school, but I thought it was in college. I may be completely wrong. This, honestly, this series right here was the fastest I've ever freaking read a manga in my life. Like, this first volume right here, this thickness, I read 45 minutes to an hour. And I understood everything. I read it. It just moved so gripping, and in a way there wasn't much plot, but then it was so deep plot. Like, I can't explain it. This series is crazy. Yeah, I read this in one night, one sitting, and I really wish I brought the next volume with me to work. So then the next night I brought all 3 of these guys with me, and I'm like, I won't finish these. Oh, and by the way, this is when I picked up at a different store that's a lot slower than mine, so that's why I had some extra time to read. So yeah, I picked up at a dead store, and like I didn't have anyone come in, so after I finished the paperwork of them not having anyone come in all day, it only took me like an hour, so just trying to justify that. But my store's a lot busier, so I hardly have any time to read, but I'm not complaining at all because it's a job, but I'm just saying before I feel like I'm judging myself for reading so much. But anyways, I read all 3 of these in one sitting. So I would have finished the whole entire thing in one sitting if I thought to bring the book, but I was sick. It's so thick, I'm not going to have time, and yeah. So then the first thing that I actually read on the 1st of August was The Life-Changing Manga of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo, and this was just a cute little like self-help book of how to keep everything tidy. It pretty much tells the exact same thing as the book did, but it just doesn't have like an actual story of this chick, and it's like kind of showing you of how messy she is and how she gets in order versus just telling you. So yeah, I definitely highly recommend it. So this month was kind of crazy. I definitely had some least favorite reads, but then I found some really good reads. So I feel like last month I liked everything I read. So in a way this month was kind of disappointing, but then I did read like Flowers of Evil, and I started Prophecy, which was so good. I think my favorite thing this month was definitely Flowers of Evil. It was just go read it. Freaking go read it. I might like Prophecy more once I, finish it. But yeah, let's check in, even though these have kind of changed. Space! Space! And then the bottom row, like I did last month, is just a complete disaster because I just added stuff to it when I was out of like space on my main bookcases. But yeah, so I have a readathon coming up in October. Gonna make an announcement about that, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, I'm going to reorganize all my bookshelves, so I'm really excited. And thank you, Lindsay Tut, for coming up with this. Let's start buddy reading again because I want to buddy read Girlfriends and what was the other one that we were going to buddy read? Girlfriends, and it was one of Shay's favorites. Anyways, I'm going to end the video here, and I will talk to you guys later.